bipolar. What would you like to work on?
Garz, I think at the moment my biggest issues are being unemployed and money blockages. Those are the two things that I think are all consuming.
Or consume?
I'm obsessed with I'm obsessed with having neither.
Okay. And if you don't mind, what's your age?
I'm 49.
49. Okay. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how intense would you say is the feelings that this gives you?
Yeah, it's a juicy 10, full on.
Juicy 10. Okay.
Mm.
Would you say that the 10 is it frustration? Is it sadness? Is it anger? Is it fear? What is it?
I feel super sad about it.
Sad. Okay. So it's like a 10 out of 10 sad.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would like you to think about what's not happening, what's not working in your career, right? And just allow that sadness to live in your body, allow it to exist in your body, allow it to intensify in the body, and it can't hurt you, right? So just feel into that, and at the same time, notice where there's tension in the body. Where do you feel tension in the body?
My solar plexus, I feel like it's a bit sick, and behind my right shoulder blade at this very moment, right now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But I find that this solar plexus thing is almost Garz like an alarm clock. It wakes me up with this like dull ache, and I'm like, oh God, there it goes. There's that funky feeling that I anticipate every morning.
Yeah. Okay. So I'd like you to drop your awareness into that tension in your solar plexus. See if you can find the middle of that, the core of that, the center of that. Drop your awareness into that, okay? And just stay there for me. And if it moves, just move with it. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to ask you super conscious to find negative experiences, lifetimes with fame and famous people, specifically famous public figures in the family, important public figures in the family, 10, 100,000, 10, hundreds, 1, 2, down to 0. Treat them all in perfect order with respect and do a massive change history in your systems, chakras, organs, meridians, subtle bodies, mind, body, spirit, soul, conscious, subconscious, unconscious. The other thing they're showing me is lifetimes of you being in your 40s and not being married, not having children. So I'm going to ask you superconscious to find those lifetimes, treat them all in perfect order with respect, and do a massive change history in your system, chakras, organs, meridians, subtle bodies, mind, body, spirit, soul, conscious, subconscious, unconscious. They also show me lifetimes of arranged marriages. So I'm going to ask you superconscious to find those lifetimes of being forced into, coerced into, pushed into marriages with people you didn't know, strangers. 10, 100,000, 1, 2, down to 0. Treat them all in perfect order with respect and do a massive change history in your system, chakras, organs, meridians, subtle bodies, mind, body, spirit, soul, conscious, subconscious, unconscious. And we're also going to clear from you negative experiences, lifetimes of being a concubine or a mistress of some sort, and even female entertainer, like exotic entertainer, and aging out of those roles. 10, 1,010, hundreds, 1, 2, 3, down to 0. Treat them all in perfect order with respect and do a massive change history in your system, chakras, organs, meridians, subtle bodies, mind, body, spirit, soul, conscious, subconscious, unconscious. The word scandal is coming up, so I'm going to ask you superconscious to find the negative experiences, lifetimes of being involved in any kind of political scandal, whether it was people that you worked for, people you worked with, or family members who were politicians. 10, 100,000, 10, 100, millions, 1, 2, down to 0. Treat them all in perfect order with respect and do a massive change history in your system, chakras, organs, meridians, subtle bodies, mind, body, spirit, soul, conscious, subconscious, unconscious. Then they're showing me a lifetime of you holding the hand of a mother who was on her deathbed, and she was a widow, and she had a lot of grief and sadness and isolation, depression. So I'm going to ask you superconscious to find that lifetime, that moment, treat it in perfect order with respect and do a massive change history in your system, chakras, organs, meridians, subtle bodies, mind, body, spirit, soul, conscious, subconscious, unconscious. They also show me another lifetime when you grew up without a father figure. And it feels like the father figure in that lifetime was a prominent man. And I want to say that you were almost like a secret child that no one was supposed to know about. So I want to ask you superconscious to, so you knew about him, but he didn't know about you. You knew he existed, he didn't know you existed. So I want to ask you superconscious to find that lifetime, treat it in perfect order with respect, do a massive change history in your system, chakras, organs, meridians, subtle bodies, mind, body, spirit, soul, conscious, subconscious, unconscious. Now, how much of this sadness comes from the mother figure? 10, 100,000, 10, hundreds, 1, 2, 300,000%. I want to clear that down to 0. And we want to clear it from your systems, chakras, organs, meridians, subtle bodies, mind, body, spirit, soul, conscious, subconscious, unconscious. And then also sadness trickled down. The mother side goes back 10, hundreds, 100, about 100 generations deep. We want to cut, cancel, pull, remove their sadness from you. And then how much of the sadness comes from the father? 10, 100,000, 1, 2, 2,000%. We'll clear that down to 0. And then the father side goes back 10, hundreds, 1, 200 generations deep. Let's cut, cancel, pull, remove that as well. But also from family, friends, exes, enemies, the collective conscious, subconscious, unconscious, and also other lifetimes. 10, 100,000, 10, hundreds, 1, 2, 3. Let's clear that down to 0. Okay. And we want to clear the cumulative effects of absorbing and taking on sadness from the moment of conception to now into the future. Okay. When you feel sad, you're actually strong energetically. I'm not saying it doesn't upset you or bother you, but energetically, when you feel sad, you're actually quite strong. When you don't feel sad, there's nothing to feel sad about. It actually weakens you energetically. Of course, it's not conscious. We don't wake up going, I want to feel sad, right? It's a program. And I feel like this program has been with you since you were like 3 years old. So we're just going to cut, cancel, pull, remove that. And strengthen you so that whether you feel sad or not, whether there's stuff to be sad about or not, you should be nice and strong, okay, energetically. Because sometimes we're drawn to things that weaken us. Like if chocolate weakens me, I might be drawn to it. You know, if toxic abusive relationships weaken me, I might be drawn to it, right? Sometimes we're drawn to things that weaken us, okay? Okay, so when you feel sad, when you don't feel sad, okay. When you have people around you, when you have a community of people around you, or family around you, or just people that you love and that you can trust, you're pretty strong. But when you don't have anyone around you, a community around you that you love and trust, and you can be yourself, and it weakens you. So we're going to clear that and correct it. And we're going to ask you, superconscious, to find negative experiences, lifetimes of being in exile, negative experiences, lifetimes of being rejected, negative experiences, lifetimes of leaving the family, leaving the home, leaving a community, leaving an organization, a church, a mosque, whatever it is, okay? 10, 1,000, 10, 100, 1, 2, down to 0. Treat them all in perfect order with respect and do a massive change history in your system, chakras, organs, meridians, subtle bodies, mind, body, spirit, soul, conscious, subconscious, unconscious. We also need to clear from you lifetimes of being a widow and having to well, cope and survive by yourself, right? 10, 100,000, 10, 100, millions, 1, 2, down to 0. Treat them all in perfect order with respect and do a massive change history in your system, chakras, organs, meridians, subtle bodies, mind, body, spirit, soul, conscious, subconscious, unconscious, okay? When you make money, when you don't make money, when you're working, when you're not working, it's really lifetimes of being rejected by a father, right? That's coming up right now. 10, 100,000, 10, hundreds, 1, 2, down to 0. Treat them all in perfect order with respect and do a massive change history in your system, chakras, organs, meridians, subtle bodies, mind, body, spirit, soul, conscious, subconscious, unconscious. But then there were also lifetimes when a partner of yours left you for a younger person, okay? 10, 100,000, 1, 2, down to 0. Treat them all in perfect order with respect to a massive change history. Okay, clear 122. Financial abundance weaknesses, there's 10, 100,000, 1, 2, down to 0. And then strengthen 105. And also 10, 100, 1, 2. Let's clear you of your parents and your family, the friends, exes. Let's clear you of their financial traumas, karmas, negatively limiting beliefs. 10, 100,000, 10, 100, millions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down to 0. Treat them all in perfect order with respect and do a massive change history in your system, chakras, organs, meridians, subtle bodies, mind, body, spirit, soul, conscious, subconscious, unconscious. There's also clear negative experiences in lifetimes when you were around this age and you were not given a second chance. Like you had to beg for forgiveness, you had to beg for a second chance, and sometimes you just didn't get it. 10, 100, millions, 1, 2, 3, down to 0. Treat them all in perfect order with respect and do a massive change history in your system, chakras, organs, meridians, subtle bodies, mind, body, spirit, soul, conscious, subconscious, unconscious. There were also lifetimes when things were going really well for you, and then around this age you had to go back to take care or nurse a sick parent or sick parents that were getting older and they were transitioning, and you had to drop everything and go back home, or to their home to take care of them, and your life basically became all about taking care of them. 10, 100,000, 10, 100, millions, 1, 2, down to 0. Treat them all in perfect order with respect and do a massive change history in your system, chakras, organs, meridians, subtle bodies, mind, body, spirit, soul, conscious, subconscious, unconscious. We also need to clear from you negative experiences, lifetimes of being mixed race and not being accepted by one or the other family, and feeling like you were kind of like stuck like in the crossfire of these two sides and these two tribes and these two different religions and cultures, just being stuck in the middle of that. 10, 100,000, 10, 100, millions, 1, 2, 3, down to 0. Treat them all in perfect order with respect and do a massive change history in your system, chakras, organs, meridians, subtle bodies, mind, body, spirit, soul, conscious, subconscious, unconscious. And we also need to clear from you negative experiences, lifetimes of wanting the approval of a father figure but not getting it simply because you were born female and it just wasn't part of the culture. 10, 100,000, 10, 100, millions, 1, 2, down to 0. And so therefore trying to overcompensate and being more masculine, or taking the role of what males do to try to get that approval, but not really getting it because of the, toxic patriarchy, right? The sexism, 10, 100,000, 10, 100 millions, 1, 2, down to 0. Treat them all in perfect order with respect and do a massive change history in your system, chakras, organs, meridians, subtle bodies, mind, body, spirit, soul, conscious, subconscious, unconscious. Okay. Then we also need to clear negative experiences, lifetimes of witnessing a mother struggle. Witnessing a mother struggle in her life, not necessarily with a career. The lifetime they're showing me, you had a mother who didn't really have a career. She just did a very almost like insignificant kind of job, and but she just struggled as a person. She struggled with being optimistic. She struggled with being positive. She struggled with joy. No freedom. Feels like she was just very trapped and stuck, and feels like life was a bit of a sentence more than anything else. So you witnessing that in that lifetime gave you a lot of grief. So I'm going to ask you, superconscious, to find that lifetime, treat it in perfect order with respect, and do a massive change history in your system, chakras, organs, meridians, subtle bodies, mind, body, spirit, soul, conscious, subconscious, unconscious. Okay. All right, Paula, how does that feel now?
I feel like I could go back to bed, weirdly. Yeah. Is that normal?
Some people do feel exhausted because it's like, imagine taking a massive backpack off you and it's full of rocks.
I mean, at some point, guys, I felt kind of like all my synapses were firing in the beginning when you started to talk.
Yeah.
And I was aware that, this is being recorded, and I was self-conscious of the thing. But I think once I just released, I could feel these synapses going, and then I just kind of calmed myself into what you were saying and seeing what I resonated with and relaxed into the process, and kind of felt like a glowage. And my ears were tingling. I think you think I'm really weird, don't you?
No.
And I'm a bit sweaty. I'm not a sweaty person.
You're detoxing. Your ears are tingling because they're exit portals, so stuff is coming out the ears.
Yeah, and they're hot and tingly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Is it?
Yeah, tingling is good because it means the energy is moving, you know?
Yeah, that's exactly what I feel like. I feel like my lymphatic system is kind of kicking in, and I want to wee.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to release, physical release, releasing.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So please rate your sadness right now.
I know you've made me feel really good. I feel sad that I'm going to have to say goodbye to you, actually. So I feel 10 sad that I have to say goodbye to you, but I feel kind of 0-y sad about what I've been feeling sad about.
Good.
Thank you. Don't really know what to say without it sounding pithy and kind of trite.
It's okay. You don't have to say anything, but let's strengthen you to let go of the old stories.
Yeah.
Let's strengthen you to let go of the old paradigm, the old stories, the old limitations and restrictions.
Yeah, it's stale, guys. It's like a very stale, boring energy. I'm bored of it. I'm over it.
Yeah. Let's strengthen you to release all of that. And strengthen you to change your perspective from this moment on. Let's strengthen you to change your perception from this moment on, strengthen you to change your trajectory from this moment on, strengthen you to speak into existence what it is that you desire to create and manifest from this moment on. Okay, so a fresh moment.
Love that.
Right? So anything that you said before, you're going to say in past tense.
Okay.
Right? You're not going to say, I've been unemployed, I've been struggling. You're not going to say, you're not going to say, I'm unemployed, I'm struggling. You can say, I was struggling with unemployment, right? I was experiencing this, I was experiencing that. But that's not going to be your truth from this moment on. Make sense?
Totally.
Yeah. Okay. So let's strengthen you to have a new outlook. Let's strengthen you for a fresh outlook, strengthen you to change your trajectory, strengthen your perception, new self, new stories, new support system, new belief systems that support you to thrive from this moment on. Strengthen your courage and strengthen you to get downloads and upgrades and messages and bring to you people that will help you on your journey from this moment on. Will strengthen you to pay attention and have an awareness of new opportunities that come into your life from this moment on. Okay?
Yep. I want that. I want all of that.
Good. So strengthen all of that 100% infinite potential to the power of infinity and beyond, integrate mind, body, spirit, soul. Okay. Can you please rate your sadness now?
0.
Good.